So, last time I added wine swinging and ice powers to my game, and this time I finally retired my beans. I've been using these as placeholders for my enemies for a while now, and I decided it's finally time to replace them. So I found these cool skeleton assets in Unity's asset store and imported them into my project. Then I made my way into Mixamo and found some animations for our guy. And voila, we have skeletons now. His name's Gary, he's Larry's cousin. But he's kinda dumb. So let's give him a brain.
Helicopter, helicopter. Paracofer, paracofer.
Okay, maybe give him a bigger brain. Okay, it works now. They start following you and attacking you if you get close enough. And if you go far away, they'll let you go and start patrolling around. Pretty cool. And no, I haven't fixed the finger yet. After finishing up Gary, I started working on the visuals of the game a bit. I watched this awesome tutorial on YouTube to add some dissolve effect into my enemies when I'm absorbing them. This is the first time that I'm using shader graph, but it turned out pretty good. I also had to redo my hit flash effect inside my shader graph, but after doing all that, this is how it's turned out. Now when you're absorbing an enemy, they start to dissolve slowly and fade away. Also, the color of the dissolve effect varies on the elements of the enemy that you're absorbing. Pretty cool. After finishing the dissolve effect, I decided it's finally time to work on the earth elements. So I called my friend and asked him to modify my current hands and make him look rocky, kinda like a stone golem. And he happily agreed to make them for me.
Can I see my family now?
Anyways, after getting the rocky hands from my dear friend, I made my way into Blender and spent a few hours making animations for him. After I was done, I imported all of them into Unity, conjured even more dark magic in the animator, and connected all of them together. And with that, the visuals of the rock hands were done. Now all I had to do was to blow some logic into it so we can actually damage enemies with it. So I decided to make a rock throw ability, so the player will be able to pick up rocks off the ground and throw them at the enemies.
That's not even magic, bro. Even normal people can do that.
I know, but I didn't have any better ideas. Anyways, I found these cool rock assets in Unity's asset store and imported them into my project. Then I wrote a script so the player can actually pick up rocks and throw them, and it should be working perfectly now. Oh. Okay, now it should work perfectly. Okay, it works perfectly now. Now you can pick up rocks and throw it at your enemies, and upon impact it will shatter and deal damage to enemies in a radius around it. And as you absorb more mana, the rocks you pick will get bigger and it will increase the damage and the blast radius. Pretty cool. After finishing our rock hands, I decided to work on our nature attacks a bit. So I thought of this really cool spell that the player would shoot vines out of his hands and attach them to the enemies, and start draining their life energy, resulting in dealing damage to them and healing ourselves. It sounds simple enough, but let me tell you, me and my 2 brain cells were struggling hard on this one. At some point I even thought of completely abandoning the idea. But it was nothing a few cups of coffee couldn't fix. I put together a script that should be working. Luckily I already had a working vine system for my grappling, so I just reused that and it made my work a lot easier. After doing all that, I made my way into Blender again to make some animations for our vine attacks. After finishing the animations, I connected everything together, and it should be working now. What the hell? Okay, apparently it doesn't. After an intense coding session, I managed to make it work, and this is how it's turned out. Now you can hold down the left mouse button to shoot out vines and start draining enemies, and heal yourself. And if you stop holding down the left mouse button or move out of range, the vines will disconnect. You can drain multiple enemies at once, and as you absorb more nature mana, the amount you drain and also the number of enemies you can drain at once increases. Also, I should probably add some effects to this. It looks kinda weird.
Nah, I'll do it later.
And that's pretty much everything I've done so far. Next time I'll probably add some player stats so that enemies can actually damage us. Or who knows, I might finally fix the finger. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned for more updates.